everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a blast from the past for you because these overlooked commanders were forgotten until they wrecked everyone and until I let you know about them today. Let's jump into them. So first up, a legend that I absolutely love, Captain Sisay. This is one where, hey, you know what? You want a really exciting deck that keeps getting better and better and better every single set, every single year. Pick up Captain Sisay, such a fun commander. And again, one from all the way back in Invasion, a long time ago in a land far away, when there weren't many legends out there. Now we've got an insane amount, and again, this commander just keeps getting better. A 2/2 human of some sort. Again, this is an old card. It has been errated, obviously, at this point, where we don't just have, creature dash legend. No, it's like legendary creature dash, and then human blank. Regardless, for mana in Selenia, tap search life for a legend or legendary card. They changed that too. Reel that card and put in your hand, and then shuffle your library. Basically, hey, a repeat tutor for legendary cards. Again, back in the day, much more limited. There was just a limited supply of legendary cards. Again, like literally back in, 2000, like previous to that too, there had been like 100 or so legendary creatures in total. Now there are obviously thousands. And of course, with every single set, with every single year, we get more and more and more. You can just tutor up the best things that you need for the situation that you're in with this commander. You can have an all legends deck, essentially. You can have lands that are legendary these days, too. And all of a sudden, you are dominating the game. Also, of course, you're in a good color combination for a lot of great untap effects. Again, cast something like a Vitalize, cast something like a 2 Arms, and all of a sudden, untap your entire team, maybe even some mana dorks out there, to do it again, and again, and again. Yeah, there are some absolutely absurd combinations you can utilize with this commander. It is so much fun. Pick it up, build around it right now. Next up, Elves! Eladamri, Lord of Leaves, a 2/2, I assume elf, yeah, I would assume that. Anyways, for green, all elves gain Forest Walk, and elves cannot be the target of spells or abilities. So again, this obviously has been errated at a certain point, and it's basically like, hey, elves have Shroud, okay? This is kind of a very funny commander in a way because, yes, again, it is the old school templating where it impacts every single player's elves. It isn't, again, the new templating, which is like, elves you control. Yeah, okay, cool. That being said, obviously, your opponent's elves are going to be able to swing at you. And that's okay, unless you, I guess, build a deck that's entirely non-forest, which I don't know if I recommend that, but you can try. You definitely can try. And I'm sure there are decks built around it where, like, you know what? You might have Forest Walk, but my lands are not forest. Sure. The chances that you're playing against another elf deck, yeah, I mean, okay, that's going to be a bit smaller. That being said, even if you are, you can get through on them as well, because obviously green is one of the most popular colors out there. It's definitely going to be included in basically every elf deck out there. And of course, again, when you're playing against any kind of a ramp deck, green is going to be out there. Forests are going to be out there. Your elves are going to be unblockable against those players. And of course, your elves having Shroud makes so they're protected. Yes, they are protected from your spells as well. And like you can't like equip them with things too because you can't target them. That being said, you're in a great color, obviously, for massive anthems like Beastmaster Ascensions type stuff. You can do some absolutely crazy things with this one. So you had an elf ball deck that not only helps your elves get through, but also helps protect them too. Can be a great build and a lot of fun. And of course, when you do get that matchup where you are playing against another elf deck, you can take them out quite quickly. Just go for it, take them out, and all of a sudden, you're the elf deck that is going to dominate the world. Next up, Empress Galina, all the way back in Invasion as well for this one, a 1/3 legend. I think it's a merfolk, I don't know. For 5 mana in blue, pay blue, tap, gain control of target, legend or legendary permanent. Again, like literally it has been errated, so it's like, hey, yeah, legendary permanent, just take control of that. Here's the thing, we're playing a format called Commander. In this format, players build around legendary creatures. Or sometimes space stations too. Magic's weird these days. Anyways, here's the thing about this one. You are able to go, you know what, that's mine now. Okay, yeah, that whole thing that your deck's built around, it's mine. your opponents are going to have to politic with you in order to be like, hey, you know what? I kind of need to play my commander in order for my deck to work. So what can I do for you, Ms. Empress Galina? And you're like, yes, my subject. Let's see. Take out that opponent from me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have the card that everyone fears on the table. That can absolutely just change a game around. You can make it so that your opponents are just shaking in their boots, and all of a sudden they're like, please don't take my commander. I will not, Empress Galina, offend you anymore. Yeah, and if you're playing against a legendary tribal deck, which there are many these days, really, impactful, really, really powerful ones like Joda, the newer Joda, not the older Joda. I love you, older Joda. Anyways, being able to essentially just go, yeah, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Of course, you are in blue, which is a great color for untapping. You can utilize this effect multiple times in a turn. And yeah, you don't have that many hasty effects, I guess I would say, but of course there are equipment out there like Lightning Greaves, etc. that you can go, okay, I don't even have my commander out, but like I'm ready to go whenever I need to go and steal your best things. And again, it's permanent stealing. It doesn't just give it back when this goes away. No, it's mine. It is mine. So just, yeah, wreck your opponent's plans, throw a wrench into their plans, and just take over the game with Empress Galina. Speaking of taking their things, Chainer Dementia Master. So much fun. A 3/3 minion legend for 5 mana from back, and I believe that's Torment. All nightmares get +1/+1. Again, it's like a human minion, I guess would be the type, regardless. Anyways, pay black, pay 3 life. Put a creature card from a graveyard, not just your graveyard, in a play under your control. The creature is black and is a nightmare to other creature types. When Chainer leaves the game, well, you remove all nightmares from the game. I meant play, not the game. Anyways, here's the thing about this one. This is an amazing repeat reanimator, again, that isn't limited to just your own things. You can steal your opponent's things as well, which is incredible. So being able to go, hey, you know what? That's mine, that's mine, that's mine. You can either, again, decimate the board with edict effects, which, again, is very relevant, obviously, for Chainer. Being able to just decimate the board with board wipes. Being able to mill opponents. Being able to search creature cards out of your library or your opponent's libraries into graveyards and just going like, yeah, that's great, I'll take that. Yeah, that's great, I'll take that. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. You can do absolutely incredible things with this one. Yeah, if your commander gets dealt with, okay, they'll go away, whatever, that's fine. I can rebuild. I'm in a color that has a vast amount of ways to give me a lot of mana, and I'm going to dominate the game with this one. So yeah, utilize your opponent's best creatures against them, take over the game, and utilize some really crazy effects. It's absolutely a blast to play. Check it out, pick it up. Next up, from all the way back in Plane Shift, we've got Ertai the Corrupted, a 3/4 wizard legend. Again, not a wizard legend anymore. I think it's Phyrexian wizard? Sure, anyways. For 5 mana and Esper, by paying a blue, tap, sacrifice a creature or enchantment, counter target spell. This is such a fun commander. When it comes to a control commander, being able to build around something like this is just so incredibly unique. You can utilize this effect, again, to your benefit. Back in the day, there were less ways to take advantage of, like, sacrificing things. Like, okay, I guess I actually have to decide on what I'm sacrificing. Oh, and I lose out on this. Oh, darn. With this one, it's like, okay, yeah, I've got that enchantment over there that I actually want to sacrifice because when I sacrifice it, I draw 3 cards. Cool. Now I've got a commander that can help me do that. Or, again, a creature, like, resummoning skeleton. Sorry, you're just going to keep getting used resummoning skeleton like this, and then I sacrifice you and you come back. Or a Bloodghast, which comes back for free. Being able to just go like, hey, you know what? I am going to get these things back again and again and again, and be able to just sacrifice things to actually counter spells. Your opponents are going to have to be wary on what they're casting, and again, get the politic with you. You're going to have to be like, hey, you know what? If you want to cast that, I'll counter it unless you do this for me. And they're like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll never attack you with this creature that I'm playing because I kind of want it to resolve. Yes, please. And again, you are in a great color combination, especially with white and blue, for untap effects. So, of course, you can untap this multiple times in a turn to counter whatever your opponents are doing against you. It is a great control commander that is underplayed. It is so much fun. And again, it can take advantage of those off-the-wall cards that no one else plays because, well, it's like an enchantment that you're like, okay, I play it, but it doesn't do anything unless it hits the graveyard. If it doesn't hit the graveyard, then it does nothing. But I've got a commander that can sacrifice it now, and I can dominate the game with it. Pick up Ertai. It is so much fun. Moving on, a commander that you really might have never heard of, and it's a lot of fun for you. And I will warn you with this one especially, yes, this is a control commander, but when it comes to mass discard, It's kind of in some ways a no-no in certain playgroups, so ask your playgroup ahead of time, or make sure that with your playgroup RLGS that this is an okay commander to play first, because there are definitely some players out there that will not be okay with this. And fair enough. A 3/3, I think it's like a human spell shaper, I don't know. Anyways, for 5 mana in black, pay X and a black, tap, discard 2 cards from your hand. Target player discards X cards at random from their hand. Yeah, you don't really ever see the words at random these days when it comes to discarding. It's a very rare thing to see. Usually it's like, let's be friendly with our discard effects. And, okay, you can choose this. You can't lose that. No. No, this is like, hey, you know what? You're just losing, like, your best things most likely because you can't choose. Or just your entire hand. Because, again, it's literally just for mana. It is just mana that you're putting into this and discarding 2 cards yourself. And of course, you've got ways to take advantage of your own discards. Of course, you're building around that. There are also some ways to untap this as well to utilize it more than once in a turn, but still, just decimating one opponent for like their entire hand, or again, some of the best cards in their hand, is just worth the price of admission for you. This segment, again, that's all it does. It is just resource denial for your opponents, but it is one of those frightening things in play because, again, players like to build around, hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm planning ahead. I've got what I'm going to be doing. This card throws an entire wrench in that because it's like, you know what? No. Your plans are just gone. Your hand is gone. Goodbye to all of your best cards. And now I'm going to look at another opponent and go like, hey, are we buddies? Or do I have to do that to you too? And they're going to be like, please don't destroy my mind. Please. So yeah, Greel, Mind Raker. Again, ask your playgroup first. This is one that might be on the no-no list for them. But if so, pick it up and build around it if they're okay with it. Super underrated commander, Jolrael, Empress of Beasts. This one is from all the way back, and I think that's Prophecy, a 3/3 again, Spell Shaper for 5 mana in green. Yeah, there's an entire cycle of these, and they're all super cool. 3 mana in green, tap, discard 2 cards in your hand. Until end of turn, all lands target player controls are 3/3 creatures that are still lands. This is such a funny commander, because players might not realize exactly what you can do with this. Yeah, okay, here's the thing, alright? This can be a game-winning play, where you're like, again, like, okay, I've got no army at all. Okay, I don't have anything in play. Oh, but I've got all these lands. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna, turn all my lands into creatures. I've got a bunch of Anthem effects in play. I swing Alpha Strike and take my opponents out. Cool, good for me. Absolutely, that can be a game-winning play. Here's the other thing. This might be the best board wipe protection out there. And you might not realize it because, well, your opponents might not realize it either. And this is the ultimate play to say, hey, you know what? No, I've got a good board built up. I got a good amount of creatures in play. I don't want you to blow up the board. And they go, well, I want a Wrath of God because I don't like the board right now. And then you say, well, if you do that, I'm turning all of your lands into creatures. And then they say, that's mass land destruction. No, you can't do that. And then you say, no, you are the one casting the destruction spell. I am just enabling your lands to be creatures. That is your fault. Do not cast that spell. And then they do it and they lose the game because they have no lands and that's their own fault. Now, you might argue with me on the validity of that argument, but yeah, no, I think that it's completely fine. Here's the thing, okay? The opponent, again, you have them in a corner. They are not allowed to cast that board wipe. They do that, that's on them, and they're out of the game, okay? But yes, again, you don't have to utilize this as a way to protect your board, but it is an amazing way to protect your board and say, yeah, I've got this great board built up of a lot of creatures and a lot of things going on, and it's a kind of an emergency, like, just like break glass in case someone tries to destroy my board. But you have that right there, and it is the ultimate way to prevent players from actually destroying your things. An amazing commander, one that again can be built in a lot of different ways. So much fun. Check it out. Pick it up. One of my favorites from back in the day, in one of the very first episodes on this channel, Selenia Dark Angel. Yeah, so much fun. A 3/3, I believe, Phyrexian Angel these days for 5 mana, and Orzhov from back in, I think it's Tempest. It's so old that's like flying. Selenia Dark Angel counts as an angel. Cool. Yeah, let's just put that little line right there in the creature type. Okay, cool. Anyways, pay 2 life, return Selenia to its owner's hand. Again, a card that if you're a newer player, you're like, well, that's useless. It's like a 3/3 flyer for 5 mana, and like, okay, I guess I can protect it by bouncing it back to my hand, and oh no, losing life. Yeah, that's okay to have that perspective, but also, you can lose all the life you want. And then again, if you're a new player, like, why would I want to do that? Because life swapping is hilarious and fun. Oh my gosh, it is such a good time. Having Axis of Mortality in play and going, I bounce this back to my hand again and again and again and again and again. Yeah, you can just actually kind of, respond to your own, effect. You're like, okay, pay 2 life, return to my hand. But before that resolves, I do it again and again and again and again. Basically just losing life in increments of 2 and going down to either 2 or 1 life, depending on if you're even or odd. And then all of a sudden going, okay, my upkeep hits and let's swap life totals. You're down to 1 and I'm at whatever you were at, 1,000. I don't care. Being able to utilize some amazing cards, just absolutely this commander lets you do that. Any kind of life swappy cards, any cards that take you down to your life total, take everyone down to life total. You do so many fun things with it. Check out that episode. And also, with that one, maybe though, make sure you adjust the number of board wipes potentially, because back in the day, I didn't realize that it was a no-no to run like 15 plus board wipes in a deck. So yeah, maybe adjust down just a little bit. Maybe some more Ghostly Prison type effects. Maybe less just wipe the board again and again and again and again and again, okay? How about the opposite, though, of wiping the board? Let's just get the entire board, you're going to run out of space on your playmat, let's say that. Rith the Awakener, a 6/6 dragon legend. I mean, these days it's like a dragon, like Elder Dragon, probably, I don't know. 6 mana in Naya flying. Whenever Rith deals combat to a player, you may pay 3 mana in green. If you do, choose a color. Put a 1/1 green sapling creature token into play for each permanent of that color. This one builds on itself, which is absolutely insane. Being able to go, hey, okay, what's the most common color out there out of all things? Out of all permanents. Okay, oh yeah, that's green, I guess. Okay, cool. It is green. All right, awesome. All right, I'll pay that. And all of a sudden, I make, say, 10 saplings. Because, again, you're playing Commander. There are 4 players in play. There's going to be a good amount of one color out there. And then all of a sudden, that just keeps going and going and going. I mean, giving this double strike makes it so that you essentially can do this twice in a turn, which is amazing because you're basically, like, quadrupling things up because you are making it... Again, you're just going to keep picking green at a certain point because you're making green saplings. And you're like, okay, yeah. And then 20 more, and then 40 more, and then 80 more. You just have an insane army. Of course, you can win with, like, Impact Tremors type stuff as well, or just, like, some Anthem effects. But yeah, you can do some absolutely crazy things with this one. Flood the board in absolutely no time. All the way back in Invasion. I love you, Rith. You're amazing. Pick it up. Build around it. Okay, all right. This one, again, there is a caveat for this one from Mirage with Taniwha. This one might seem like one of the most useless commanders out there of all time, and it kind of is. But also, it is one where, well, it can be one of the most brutal commanders of all time, too. And again, not for every player group. This one specifically, I am telling you, is mass land. I mean, it's technically not destruction, but it's like disruption, I guess I would say, because you're not, like, destroying the lands, but you are getting rid of them. A 7/7, I don't even know what. Serpent, no idea. For 5 mana in blue, phasing, trample, beginning of your upkeep, all lands you control phase out. Basically, every other turn you have no lands, which is hilarious and terrible. And again, like back in the day when I was like, it's a 7/7 for 5 mana, it's got trample, there's got to be a massive downside to this. I mean, this was from way back in 96, right? It's not like these days where it's like, well, it's a 7/7 for 5 mana. Okay, that's nowhere near enough. We need to give it like 85 things. Okay, yeah. We don't use Hexproof anymore, so like Ward 8, Trample, Lifelink, and whenever you cast a spell, you draw a card. Okay, yeah, that seems about right these days. So yeah, power creep has definitely become a thing. That being said, the power around this one is literally, again, you turn not having lands yourself into an upside. You turn lands not being in play for you equals a good time for you because you're going to cast a card like Sunder. And yeah, you need a lot of mana rocks, obviously, to help do this, but you will. But anyways, being able to go, okay, like, Sunder. Okay, cool. Yeah, with Sunder, that just bounces all lands back to all players' hands. Again, technically not mass land destruction, but it is disruption because you are, well, getting rid of everyone's mana sources. Except your own, which again are phased out, and then they come back next turn, and you're like, oh, I still have my lands. What happened to yours? So yeah, building an entire deck around that, and yes, there are tutors to go get Sunder, and other ways to disrupt your opponent's land bases too, with a commander that can 3-shot KO them. Yeah, it is a janky, wonky, weird deck, but it is kind of hilarious in a way, because this is such a janky, weird commander. People will be like, why would you ever build around that? Well, first of all, again, ask your opponents first if you can play this. Number one, or your play group or LGS, ask them first, because it is mass land destruction, basically, and that is a big no-no in casual Commander, okay? So, have fun, but responsibly. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.